Hi everybody, we're on. Okay, so today we're sharing a couple different things, and people were asking about antiviral herbs and things that you can use in the kitchen, and natural things that we can put into teas or use in tinctures for just keeping yourself really healthy and sort of so you're more resistant against viruses. So we're going to share a couple things. I've done quite a bit of researching on it over the last month, and there's a lot of really good information out there. And so there's a lot of things that you can do that you can either get at the health food store or whatever means or sources you can get them from. So we're going to kind of take it a little by a little, and I thought right now people really wanted to know what they can do from their kitchen without ordering anything or going out. So we're going to discuss a few of those. But first, last week, was it last week? Anyway, we did a video on making almond milk, and I can't remember what we had that with, but we did it with something else. So we did two things that day too. So we did the almond milk, and I think that might have been Friday or Saturday. Anyways, just a couple days ago. And so the almond milk here, what we did was basically we just soaked almonds for overnight. I soaked the almonds, and then the next day we just put it in a magic bullet, and with no milk, just the soaked almonds, and added water and just blended it. And so I'll try and show you the consistency here. I kind of poured some of it off because I used it as a latte. Oh, we added coconut milk, or I mean not coconut milk, but coconut oil, and that's what made it froth up. So this does have a little bit of coconut oil, which made it froth up, and then we had it as a drink. So this is my leftover because I didn't drink the whole thing, and you can see it's a little, it's still got chunks of almonds in it, which is perfect. And so I thought what we'll do first is we will make a dip out of the ground almonds. So it's fresh raw almonds mixed with water, soaked, and then put into a latte the next day with a little bit of coconut oil. So here I have some nutritional yeast, and so we're going to add that and just make a dip, like a little fresh almond dip. And I actually forgot the other spoon, so I'll grab that. And so we're going to use the, can you see everything? Okay, I better move over here. Okay, so almond milk. My YouTube's a little low. Maybe I'll set it up here so you can see it. Oh, that's better. Okay, so we're just going to use nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast has all kinds of benefits, very good for you. You know, it has so many benefits, I can't remember them all. But I've been following a lot of Dr. Greger's, and he offers a free service of nutritionfacts.org, and he wrote the book How Not to Die, and then there's another one, How Not to Diet, and I think he's working on another one, How to Not Age or something. And he's like, he has this nutritionfacts.org. It's a nonprofit free. He donates most of his money to from the books to research and charity and stuff. So I really am a fan. And he says you need to have nutritional yeast every single day, full of vitamins and minerals and stuff like that. So I'll check it out more. It's just out of my mind right now. It's good for you. Take my word for it, or look it up. Google it. Okay, so we're adding nutritional yeast. I'm going to add just enough to thicken it. The nice thing about nutritional yeast is that it's super cheesy tasting, and if you want to make anything without dairy, like a cheese sauce, or you want to have a cheese flavor in anything, your soups or whatever, you can sprinkle this on your popcorn. You can do all kinds of things with nutritional yeast, and it does have a cheesy flavor, and super good for you without the dairy. So there's no dairy in it. So you can see this getting thicker, right? So what we're going to do is use this as a veggie dip, or whatever whatever veggie dip or for potato chips or whatever. So we're adding the nutritional yeast. I'm actually going to make it a little bit thicker. So you can get your nutritional yeast at Healthy Habits as well here in town if you're in Port Alberni or any health food store or wherever. And so it's getting really quite thick. You can see that. So this is a nice dipping texture. And I did forget another thing. I put all this stuff out and then I keep forgetting different things. So here we're going to add a little bit of paprika, smoked paprika. I think that would be really good in here. And just a dash, whatever you want. I like things spicy, so I'm going to add a little bit of cayenne. This, it's kind of funny that people have asked me what the cayenne is. This says capsicum on it, and it's a Nature Sunshine product of cayenne, and I just find it the freshest that I've ever purchased from anywhere. It's super fresh and very vibrant. So I'm going to add a little bit of, I want that to fall. We're going to add a little bit of garlic powder too. I like garlic, so I'd say I like a lot of garlic. I'd say like a heaping teaspoon. This is actually a tablespoon or half tablespoon. So that's pretty much it, and then just salt and pepper and Himalayan sea salt, not regular salt, and then a bit of black pepper. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what it kind of looks like. And so, you know, pretty easy, and it's again, for anybody coming on right now, they're fresh almonds, raw almonds soaked overnight, blended with coconut oil the next day, and then today I have added the nutritional yeast, and it's really nice dip. Super healthy, really good for you. So that was the thing that that came up that people want to know about. And then what we're really here to discuss today are some really beneficial herbs that you can find in the kitchen as antivirals. So they really help. And there's been I go to quite a few different research websites that are based on scientific research, so that hopefully I'm sharing information that's very accurate and valid and has had testing done. So what I've found is of things in your kitchen that they've been using in a lot of studies for viruses is easy enough. And I don't know, I mean, most people don't have it like this, but it's cinnamon. Cinnamon's coming up #1, and you wouldn't really think that this innocent little, you know, thing is just so powerful. Very antiviral. So, and not just a sprinkle. So when you're using herbs, any kind of herbs for medicinal, for it to actually become a medicine, a sprinkle is not really, it's not really going to be enough. So in a medicinal fashion. So we're talking, I would guess if you're going to use cinnamon powder in something every day, like a heaping teaspoon every day for any kind of medicinal effects. So it just can't be a sprinkle. If you really want to get serious with cinnamon, the studies that were done with a tincture. And what I've done here is I've taken these cinnamon sticks. I don't want to put my fingers in there. These sticks, and they're in here. I'll get a clean spoon and put them in a jar. I don't know if it's going to want to come out without putting my fingers in there. So you can see the cinnamon stick there. I think you can see it. So I just stuffed this jar with cinnamon sticks and then poured vodka over them. So the thing with making tinctures, and there's many different ways and rules of making tinctures depending on what kind of herbs you're using and all that kind of stuff. But basically for our purposes, for the general person that just wants to have a little bit of more of a oomph of the antiviral properties of the cinnamon, you're going to pour the vodka over this and then put it in a fairly warm place and allow the vodka to draw. And I like using vodka as opposed to other things. Some other people might like things like brandy, but what I like is I want the flavor of the herb to actually have, when I taste this, I don't want it to taste like vodka at all. I don't want it to taste like alcohol. I want it to just draw, and it should not taste like any kind of alcohol at all. It should taste like, in this case, pure cinnamon. So, so you would just do, you know, let it draw, probably take at least 3 weeks, and then let it draw, and then just like half teaspoon every day. And so that's the way to get, because it'll be way more concentrated than just a teaspoon of dried cinnamon. Depends on how old your cinnamon is too. A lot of the spices are not that fresh. Like a lot of times, you know, people buy, which I've done as well, those big, huge things of cinnamon, you know, like at Costco or whatever. But keep in mind, unless you're going through a lot of cinnamon and you know that the cinnamon is fresh, it's not going to have the medicinal quality of, well, certainly not a cinnamon stick, but this is actually drawing out the medicinal qualities. So this is one of the, this is coming up almost #1 from the studies around the world, Australia, China, the US, you know, from what I've been researching. And what I'm trying to do is for you guys to be able to have medicine from things that are found in your kitchen that are common. And so you don't have to really order anything exotic or do anything, you know, go out of your way. You just have something. And not everybody has cinnamon sticks. I have also done this with the powdered cinnamon and poured the vodka over it for it to draw as well. And it's fine. It works. I don't find it as powerful as this, but it's, you know, it works. But the problem is, of course, that the powder, the cinnamon powder, goes down to the bottom. And so you're either going to shake it when you have a little bit, when you have a teaspoon, and then it's going to be a little bit gritty going down. And so so that's kind of the issue there, or stir it or whatever, you know, to make sure that you get it, because it will settle at the bottom. So it's kind of something you have to keep shaking. But I wanted to share with you that. And then so I think what we'll do, based on the questions that I've been getting, is share a different herb or a different thing in the kitchen that is helpful for colds, flus, viruses, or whatever. And like I said, the majority of the research has come up with cinnamon. The second thing that they're using, it's not something that's common in most people's kitchen, but I'm going to mention it here anyway, since it came into my head, is they've done a lot of studies with licorice root. And so we're talking the licorice root, not, you know, not black licorice candy, although I really don't know how much real licorice root is in licorice candy. I have no idea. So it may be, you know, something to consider as mild, you know, something helpful. But the other study is licorice root, which has a lot of antiviral properties. And so if you wanted to look into ordering licorice root, and you could do the same thing, you could tincture it, or you could simmer it. Like if you made it into a tea, it would not be strong enough just to pour hot water on. You have to actually simmer and draw it out like a decoction. And so so you could do that with licorice root too, and you could probably order that through Healthy Habits or somewhere, you know, that sells health food products. So the licorice root is also coming up super high in antiviral properties in the studies. And the only thing with licorice root is, for some people, it depending on how much you take, it could spike your blood pressure a little bit. So you do have to be careful of that. And there's another thing that's called deglycerized licorice, and that does not spike the blood pressure. But in the studies that I've looked at, you'd have to really eat or drink a lot of licorice root for it to spike your blood pressure. But there is something called deglycerized licorice, although I have not seen that that there's been a lot of research on the deglycerized one, only on the true root. So anyway, those are your tips for today. I'm just going to look at oh, hi Mary. Oh, just look at the questions. So yeah, so thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 11. Just looking at the other chats here, and let me know what subjects you want to discuss, and we'll just share whatever it is that that you are interested in. Just sort of referencing that I'm a certified herbalist and just a natural health interested person in sharing all kinds of information. So anything that you want to share, I can either find out if somebody else is offering that or offer some information myself. Okay, have a great day and hope you guys are staying warm in this wet weather.